I still remember when I used to go to primary school. My only source of relationships and friendships with other people was with my classmates. And they were video games addicts. You know, they used to play games like Minecraft, which I really like, but there were others like CSGO and Terraria, which I didn't really enjoy, but I played them because of them. You see, I was never really good at playing video games. In fact, I sucked at Minecraft PvP. And I was really bad at shooting in CSGO. Most of the time I didn't even hold shift, so the enemy team could hear us most of the time. And you can just imagine how much my classmates were yelling at me. But apart from video games, in real life they also used to play football, basketball and all these other activities. Which, don't get me wrong, I like to play sports, but it's just that I don't really enjoy playing it. Not because I'm bad at it. In fact, if I really tried, I could make a fuck ton of progress in just 6 months, but that's besides the point. I don't really enjoy playing sports because it is not my authentic activity. It is not naturally gifted to me. I don't naturally feel attracted to it. And so you can just imagine the PE sessions where I didn't catch the ball and they all screamed at me at once. Yeah, pretty fun. And also, another one of their really bad activities that they used to do was making fun of others and gossiping behind everyone's back. Which, yeah, I mean, who doesn't do that? But they were doing it at a really large scale. To the point where I was even silent for 90% of the conversations, just so that I wouldn't attract attention to myself, and so that they wouldn't start making fun of me. I just simply wasn't as compatible with them. You see, I like to learn about the universe, history, and improve myself in general, like exercising more, getting better health, getting more wealth. And even though I'm just 17 years old, I have a really, really old soul inside of me. And this soul wants to improve itself. I don't know, it's like I already know that heaven is real. And you know what they say, with God comes power. And this belief mindset, combined with my desire to improve myself as a whole, gives me motivation to improve myself on self-improvement. Like, for example, doing the good habits, exercising, learning about business, etc. And my belief in God and my desire to improve myself eventually led me to get onto self-improvement in summer of 2023. And that was the greatest decision I have ever made in my entire life. Because when I started to watch those really long educational videos from the top self-improvement content creators, that's when it really gave me the knowledge that I wanted from the people around me. It actually felt like I had the real friends that I desired. And yes, I know that parasocial relationships are really sad, but I was beginning to form them with the big YouTubers that I was watching. Because in reality, I had no one who was on the same wavelength as me. I had no one who was waking up at 5 a.m. to exercise, meditate, and do other healthy habits that will improve himself in the long term. I had no one to compete against. I was just an old soul who was destined to become successful, who was unfortunately put between the 99% of people. But that's the beauty of it. Because whenever you have a challenge like this, like you are deprived of something, like for example, I was deprived of the quality friendships that I wanted. Like, no offense to my classmates from primary school, they are all amazing people, but it's just that video games aren't enough for me. I didn't want to play them, I wanted to get the gratification from real life. I didn't want to make fun of others, I actually wanted to have great relationships with other people around me. And I wanted friends who reflected those values as well. I just wanted to get some hope that there are actually people out there who are like me. But luckily, I didn't have to wait for a long time. Because around 2 months after the end of summer in 2023, someone came to visit our house. It was a really distant family friend that we haven't seen for a long time. The last time I saw him was around 8 years ago by that point. He was one of my mom's friend's husband. I still remembered him because around 9 years ago by that point, when I was around 7 years old, he said to me that I had one of the greatest English that he has heard in Slovakia. And that was because by then I've been watching English YouTube for around 4 years. So I already had English implanted in my mind. And even now, 9 years later, he was still complimenting my English. And so at first I felt pretty shy to strike a conversation with him. But after around 30 minutes of just sitting there awkwardly, I approached him slowly, and we started to slowly talk about Venice and Tuscany. And basically, to make a long story short, we started to talk about self-improvement. We started to talk about the good habits like meditation, journaling, gratitude. We started to talk about discipline, willpower, how to make money, the right mindsets you need in life. And bro, in that single night, I had the most mindful, the most fulfilling, and the most enjoyable conversation I have had in my entire life. We talked about self-improvement for 3 hours straight. We were exchanging wisdoms like there was no tomorrow. You know, like I was giving him really great analogies that I have learned recently for watching those long-form educational videos on YouTube. And he was giving me his life stories. I got so mindful and I was so fulfilled in that conversation that I passed my bedtime for like 2 hours. Basically, I go to sleep at around 12:30 p.m. because I have a morning routine that I have to fulfill every single time that I wake up at 5 a.m. But this time, I didn't even care. I did not give a single fuck. I basically went to sleep at around 10:30 because of how enjoyable that conversation was. I finally saw that there was actual hope. Like there were actual high quality people and that it wasn't just some kind of myth. That there are 99% of people who prefer to spend most of their time in instant gratifications. And there are the 1% of people who prefer the long-term gratifications. And this person, this mom's friend, was that 1% that I've been waiting for all this time. And you know what I told him when we were saying goodbye to each other? I said to him that I wish that I had a friend like you, and he said it back. Then he left, and he said that I've inspired him for the rest of his life. By that point, I have been on self-improvement for around 4 months. And bro, the progress skyrocketed once I finally talked to him. Because for the first time, I have experienced the delayed gratification, the fruit of the labor from me watching all of those long-form educational podcasts on YouTube. Finally, my patience and my progress was rewarded, and I wasn't going to stop anytime soon. I didn't care that I was surrounded by the 99% of people who prefer to spend their teens and early 20s in instant gratification activities like, quote, enjoying their lives. No. I was going to retire my family, I was going to achieve the godly physique, and I was going to claim my future wife. Those were my goals from that day onwards. I had them even before, but bro, this lit a fire in my back to actually get going and achieve something incredible in my life. And this right here is the greatest way you can make progress on self-improvement. It is to surround yourself with the people from 1%, with the actual normal people who appreciate your success and who don't make fun of you. Because if I told one of my friends from primary school that I'm waking up at 5 a.m. just to exercise and meditate, he would not say anything. But deep down, he would think that I was a dumbass. Or I could use even a worse word. But here's the thing. The 1% of people only want to be friends with the 1% of people, meaning that you actually have to have some value in the first place. Like, of course, they will be nice to you, but you need to gain some value first. So the first way that you can get started to this journey of meeting them is to start with YouTube. Because you see, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Meaning that if you watch 5 brain-rot YouTubers, then you're going to be brain-rotted as well. But if you watch 5 self-improvement YouTubers, then you will be on self-improvement as well. You will start to read books, watch long-form educational videos on YouTube, and after a few months of you gaining knowledge from all of these quality sources, you will finally attract the high-value people in real life. And then you can say sayonara to your classmates who don't give you any value and who choose to soak themselves in instant gratification activities like playing video games for 5 hours every single day just to compensate for the lack of fun in their lives. You get what I'm saying. And when you replace the 5 most common people that you spend your time with these high quality 1% of people from your local area, that's when your life will change forever. That's when you'll make so much more progress than you can imagine. You will literally become another human. And so how do you actually find these quality people of the 1%? Well, you need to do this practice right now that I'm going to teach you. Basically, go grab a pen and a notebook, and I don't mean the computer, I mean like actual textbook that you use in school. Open a new, clear double page and title the left side, Your Future Wife. And go as deep as you can. Basically, write everything about her, write everything that you want her to have. Go into the darkest, into the into the most degenerate details that you can think about, like her chest size, for example. But don't go that degenerate. Basically, the most important thing right now is to think about her values, her likes, and what she likes to do in her free time. Like literally go into the most minute details that you can think about her soul, about her likes and dislikes, and her values in general. The things like her appearance don't matter right now. Just journal about her soul and her values, and her likes and her dislikes right now. Pause the video right now and go do it. Go spend at least 30 minutes on it, okay? Once you have this long list of her values, of her likes and her dislikes, you need to copy everything that you've wrote down about her values and put it on the right page. So go do it right now. And once you finish this, title the right page, The Best Version of Myself. Because think about it. Will your future wife, the perfect 10 out of 10 woman, want to date you? I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything, but think about it. With your messy hair, with your physique, and with your bad mental health, do you really think you could sustain a powerful relationship with her? Of course not. And that's okay, because you now have a clear path in what you need to improve in. Because you see, the values that you have written down for her are the things that you want to improve in. You find those things attractive, so why don't you go improve in those areas as well? And now, I want you to open up a new double page. And on the left page, write all of your values and all of your wife's values also. Basically do the same thing that you've done for yourself. And then title the third page, My Competition. Do you see what I did there? You aren't the only guy that wants your future wife, the perfect 10 out of 10 woman, because other men want her also. You see, you're a man, and you're in this competition with other men also. The competition for the delayed gratification, the competition of who loses and who claims the 99% of all the rewards that come in life. The money, the health, the relationships, everything is on the line, and you need to do everything in your power to get them before they can. And suddenly, you now have new areas in life that you can improve in, and where you can find your competition that you can use as a source of motivation to get better and to grow together. Because at the end of the day, you can't really blame them. They just want to retire their families also, and they want to continue their bloodline as well. And in fact, they won't say it out loud that they're competing with you. No, they will be actual good friends, like my mom's friends was. He will give you so much value in life. He will give you the greatest gift that a man can give you, which is his friendship. He will become your brother for life. But at the end of the day, you need to watch out. Because if you allow him to surpass you in this race of men, he will happily take all the rewards from you. But it's not like he will look at you into the eyes and say that you lost. No, he will say something like, oh, it has been a great run. Yeah, me and Sally are getting married next week. Oh, my business? Yeah, it's doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. While you're still here, barely making 1K per month and still dating that random hoe that gives you some validation that your mom never gave you. Okay, so remember, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So start by replacing the 5 YouTubers that you watch with 5 educational YouTubers so that you can gain more knowledge in real life. Remember the journaling practice that we've just done and improve in every single area that you've written down for her. Basically, if she likes to go out skiing, then why don't you study that? It is part of your authentic self also because you've written it down. Or basically, if you've written down that she likes to listen to the violin, then it's your job to learn it. I'm not asking you to do it right away, but you just might consider it for the future. And who knows, one of these core values may be your purpose in life, which is something that you'll learn about on your self-improvement journey, which you will start to take part in. You need to improve yourself every single day so that you can get ahead of your competition and claim the long-term rewards. Okay? So start reading books on self-improvement topics like discipline, focus, making money, willpower, etc. and watch long-form content on YouTube. So basically, no hyper-edited short-form content like shorts, or I don't know, top 7 things to not do on NoFap, you get what I'm saying. And use your competition that you'll eventually get as a source to propel yourself forward, as an infinite source of motivation, as a constant reminder that you're in this constant race of men. And as a last tip for making it this far, the reason why I really liked that family friend in the first place was because he made me feel like I was in a movie with him. He had this aura around him like I was actually special, like this was a memory that I will look forward to for the rest of my life, like it was a movie that I've been watching. He had such great social skills that he made me feel like we were the only two people in this room. Like it was a scene where only the two main characters are talking and all the other people are just background characters talking in the background, and we're making memories. So you need to give this gift of friendship to other people. You need to improve your social skills and make the conversations with the 1% feel like they're in a movie with you. Okay? So thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.